Welcome back to the eForge podcast, where overwhelmed operators become empowered leaders, where we forge businesses, influence, and legacies that last. I'm your host, Cory Long. Today's episode is a special one for me because I get to sit down with someone I've known for years, not just as a client, but as a friend and a student who actually has done the work. My guest today is Dr. Michael Kinney, a chiropractor based in Philadelphia, who has spent years helping people transform their health, their habits, and their lives. But what I really want to focus on today isn't just where he started, it's where he is now. Dr. Kinney has involved his practice, refining his positioning, built a powerful approach around weight loss, metabolic health, sustained transformation through his work at Wake Up Skinny. This hasn't been about quick wins or trends. It's about consistency, trust, serving patients at a high level over the long haul. Today, we're talking about what it looks like to grow as a practitioner, adapt your business, build the authority the right way without losing your values or your standards. Please welcome my friend, Dr. Michael Kinney. Hey, welcome to the show. I am excited to have you today.
Thanks, Cory. I'm so excited to be with you today.
Well, you and I were just talking. You're a new granddaddy as of last week for the fourth time. I think you said something like
Ye-
that. So congratulations. This is
Thank you,
exciting.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, it's I've got four grandchildren now. The first three are girls. This one is our boy. I was going to get a T-shirt that said "Princess Pop Pop," and along comes a prince. So now I have to get a T-shirt that says "Prince and Princesses Pop Pop."
There you go. That's a mouthful too, is what that is.
It
Man, I
is.
love it. We're having our first grandbaby before long, and I'm pretty excited about getting to be a granddad. I'm pretty pumped about that. Tell us a little bit about. I know you and I have known each other for years. I think we had met initially through another teaching and training I was doing. You started out as a chiropractor only, and then through the years, as health issues affected you and things happened, you started to move into metabolic health and weight loss and other things. Give our listeners an idea of like kind of what you've done, your background, a little bit about what you do at your clinic.
Okay. Well, I graduated from chiropractic college way back in 1987.
That's been a few
Uh, I've,
years.
it's been a little bit. I've been in private practice ever since then. Originally, I focused on neck and back pain. And then over time, I realized that people were coming in, I was adjusting them, getting their spine straightened out. But for whatever reason, they just weren't holding their adjustments. They kept on coming back because the pain would go away and then it would come back again. And then I said to myself, let's start working with nutrition because I noticed the majority of people had big bellies.
Yeah.
So I started working with nutrition, had a little questionnaire that they completed, and just started coaching on diet and exercise. And lo and behold, as the belly decreased, their pain decreased.
Interesting.
And yes, and then I found myself doing more nutritional coaching as opposed to actually hands-on adjusting. It was mostly nutritional consulting and home exercises. And then as life would happen, I had one patient that came in and she got tremendous results with me and she lost a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And her husband was a medical physician.
Mm.
And so she's like, I think you should talk to my husband. She goes, because I think you guys would make a really, good team together. And as we moved on, we chatted, and what we would do is the MD would handle the medical part of the practice, prescribing the medications that were medically
Yeah.
necessary. And I would focus on the diet and exercise and literally everything else. And the practice just grew and grew and grew and grew. Today, now all I focus is the weight loss. I still have a medical physician as a partner, and he's the medical director of the clinic, and he supervises the medical part of the program, the nurse practitioners and the physician assistants. And I still do the coaching on diet and exercise with patients. And we're just happy. Everyone's happy in the clinic. We're successful, and we all love what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. You and I were just talking, since the 80s, things have definitely changed. But even in just the last however many years, like even the
Yes.
way weight loss happens, because I know you guys have a strategy of what you guys do. We were talking a minute ago before we got on air here. We were talking about GLP-1s and how GLP-1s have changed kind of the way weight loss is done. And you were telling me all the I didn't have any idea about all of the side effects and how and really what they came out to be used for initially. Give listeners an idea because I think a lot of people I hear GLP-1, I don't know what that even means. I have no idea. So give people an idea. What does that actually have to do with?
Okay. Well, the first GLP-1 was Ozempic, and that was designed for diabetes.
Okay.
So for people that have diabetes, they would do the injection, hopefully follow a good nutrition program with that, and over time, their hemoglobin A1C would decrease. As a side effect, people started losing weight. And then what they did is they came out with medications like Wegovy, Zepbound, tirzepatide, semaglutide, which were approved by the FDA specifically for weight loss.
Okay.
And in my mind, in my opinion, what those medications are for people that have a truly difficult time because of some underlying medical conditions, such as diabetes, PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, hypothyroidism, autoimmune diseases, and different health conditions like that. People that truly need help,
Yeah.
people that need to lose this tremendous amount of weight. One of the downfalls of it is that there is quite a few side effects of these medications. When I was doing GLP-1s in my office, we had a 4-page consent to treat.
Wow.
And some of the side effects, just off the top of my head, are cancer, nausea, vomiting. It can paralyze your stomach. It can cause gastrointestinal distress, diarrhea, things like that. And there's just a tremendous amount of side effects, and least of which can also include depression,
Yeah.
anxiety, and suicidal thoughts.
Wow.
So many people, when they came to the clinic, and everyone wanted to try the GLP-1s because it's the hot thing right now. When they read all the side effects, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know anything about this."
Yeah.
And the thing is, believe it or not, they actually advertise this. This is on their commercials, but it's at the very end when they go really fast.
Yeah. Yeah. The little yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people started with our other program, which is the weight loss pills, the appetite suppressants. And the
Okay.
thing is, the appetite suppressants have been around since 1959.
Oh wow.
Yes, for a really long time, even longer than we've known each other.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
and and they do a great job. They decrease the appetite, and with that, with proper nutrition, with proper exercise, and exercise can just be walking 7,000 steps a day. That's a
Right.
goal.
Right.
Most of my patients, we have them start walking 10 minutes a day because they're so deconditioned that they can't do more than that.
Yeah.
But over time, day by day, they increase and they get better, and they eventually hit their weight loss goals.
Yeah, I think people don't realize. I know when I started working with a trainer a few years ago, he was like, "I want you walking every day," and I'm like, "Seriously, that's what you want me to do?" And he's. I asked him, he's like, "Do you want me to go run or play basketball or I don't do whatever?" And he's going, "Nope, just want you to walk." I'm like, "Okay."
Exactly.
They don't
Exactly.
realize. People just don't realize how powerful just getting out and getting a good brisk walk is for your
It
health.
is. And we're talking about all day long, from when you wake up to when you go to bed at night. There is actually a clinical study that they proved that if you walk just 7,000 steps a day, you can help reverse arterial plaque, get the
Wow,
plaque out of your arteries. You could help with diabetes. You could help with weight loss. Everyone hears 10,000 steps, but 7,000 steps actually gives you the most bang for your buck. But if you can do 10,000 steps a day, do it.
great.
More power to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He it was kind of funny inside of our little training group. He would have these competitions sometimes where he's like, "Okay, guys, we're going to see how many steps can we average per day this month." And it was interesting to see because some of these guys were buying treadmills to put underneath their desks and different things because I sit a lot at my
Right.
computer And I know that's the worst thing for anybody is to sit at their desk all day long, whether it's physical, like from a chiropractor standpoint, or from the health, from the nutrition and getting your body moving. Give people an idea. Like you said, 7,000 steps a day. I know you're heavy in the nutrition side. What should people do that are like me? They're sitting in front of a computer all day long. A lot of times I'll spend hours just sitting here focused on what I'm doing before I can move to the next thing.
What I tell my patients to do is every hour, stand up, stretch, walk for 5 minutes. Even
Okay.
if it's just walking around the room, it's perfectly fine. The other thing you could do is when you're sitting down at your desk, you could do toe lifts.
Okay.
Okay, because that activates the muscles in your calves and that gets the blood flowing through your body. It helps with your circulation. And believe it or not, I read another study where they said just fidgeting, just
Oh
tapping your
yeah.
feet or tapping your fingers, that helps burn additional calories. So you can actually lose a lot of weight without actually going to the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what surprised me the most about what I've done in the last few years. I know you had a big weight loss transformation yourself years ago, is just the between the nutrition and the movement. That's what I needed. I don't I mean I do lift 3 times a week. I do short 30, 40 minute weight routines through a tonal. I use a tonal machine is what I use. And it works great for me. I feel good. I'm much stronger. I've built and put on lean muscle, but it just the nutrition and the walking changed a whole lot about the way my body feels, moves, joints, everything.
And that's the key to it. That's all people have to do. People have to eat the right nutrition and have some physical activity. They don't need to do anything major.
Yeah,
And what I've found is sometimes just the simplest changes get the best results because there's things that the people can do each and every day. Because I can say, okay, do 10,000 sit ups a day, walk 10 miles a day, and do all these other things. And that's all well and good. But if you can't do it, you don't have the time to do it, you're not going to get any results. So
right.
I try to be real world friendly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Things that are easy to do, things that people can definitely do throughout the course of their day. Even if it's just at the end of the day, you walk around your living room
Yeah.
for 20 minutes, just as long as you're getting some physical activity.
Do you, so when somebody comes into your clinic, I know you have a lot of different kinds of patients that come through your place. What's kind of the process? I know you start to work with them, custom kind of a custom plan. You start to line out their nutrition. Give people an idea, like how does that work if they were looking at weight loss in Philadelphia and they're thinking about, hey, I want to, this is the year. 2026 is my year. I'm gonna lose the weight. I'm gonna get in shape. I mean, we know we're moving into February right now. You and I both know that most people are already they're already blown away whatever goals they set at the beginning of the year. Those are gone. Like I think it's what 80% or something by this time of year are already their New Year's resolutions are gone. Like show us like tell us a little bit about how does that work when they come into the
Okay.
clinic start working with you guys.
All right. When a person comes in, when they first come in, initially we'll have them do a new patient information packet. And that's going on over their medical history. Do they have high blood pressure? Do they have diabetes? Have they had any type of heart surgery or any major surgeries? Once all of that's taken care of, we'll get into their diet. Are they following a specific diet plan? Do
Right.
they have any type of allergies? What do they like to eat? What don't they like to eat? And also their level of physical activity. Are they active? Are they working behind a desk all day? Are they contractors? Are they working outside all day long? So we take
Right.
all of that into consideration because someone who sits behind a desk all day, their exercise plan is going to be different than someone that's doing construction all
Yeah.
day outside.
Yeah.
And then we'll also go over the nutrition. We'll take into account their body fat percentages, how much muscle they have, their body type, their physique built, and work on an exercise plan for that. Most of the people coming into the office A lot of them are so deconditioned that the most they could do is just walk, maybe
Yeah.
5 or 10 minutes a day. But
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. We have them do that. And then over time we gradually increase as each week goes by. We usually follow up. In the beginning, we see a person once every 4 weeks, but people told us they don't want to see my face once a
Yeah.
week. So we figured what the best thing would do is we would do every 4 weeks. So we see a
Yeah.
patient once every 4 weeks. I like to have them keep a food diary if they can.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's easier because of the different food apps. And you could even use just the paid apps to track your carbs and calories and things like that. They have the paid versions, but I've found that also the free versions, you can do the bulk of what has to be done so that you don't need to pay for an expensive app.
Yeah, I can't remember. He had us on an app before. I was trying to think of what it was. It was pretty good and it was really easy. You could just put whatever food you had in, portion size and all that, and it broke it all out for you. And I want to say it was free if I remember right, the one that we used. But
Yeah, most of them will have a free version and a paid version. And the good thing is, majority of them, the free version gives you all the information you need.
yeah, I was surprised. I One of the things that kind of shocked me was I thought I was eating a lot of protein. And then when I started actually looking at what I was eating and how much protein I was eating, I wasn't eating a lot of protein. And so it kind of surprised me some of the things that as I was looking at the app, how many carbs, how much sugar, all those things. I just didn't realize. And it is I think too for entrepreneurs that are listening, because that's kind of our audience or people that are business owners, entrepreneurs, they're a lot of them are high achievers. They're running businesses. They got high stress level, all of that. It's even more important getting our nutrition right, making sure that we're moving our bodies, doing all of those things that
Yes.
we need to be doing. Even more important because
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
high stress.
Yes, yes, and even the walking. When I started doing my daily walking, I've actually found that it was a great stress reducer.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that for sure. Do you work with people outside of Philly? Do you still do any kind of phone consults or anything like that?
For nutritional coaching, I can.
Yeah.
For just if for people that are also interested in the medications, they have to live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, because of the rules and laws. Yeah, I could see that. So
Yes,
I know
correct.
the GLP-1s are something that you're not doing anymore at this point. You guys have, because of some of the law changes and some of the things that have happened, and because of the side effects and other things, the success rate that you guys are having with the other, I'm assuming because you said a minute ago, a lot of people get on that stuff, like the let's say GLP-1s or whatever, and then they gain the weight back. Is that something that you guys have seen a lot? Because it seems like the plan that you put them on is kind of more of a long term. Hey, let's get your nutrition, your health right. Let's make sure that you're moving your body every day, starting to lose weight, starting to feel better, and then something that they can maintain.
Exactly. Our plan is again making little lifestyle changes that add up and give you big results, and it's something that people can maintain.
Yeah,
The problem with the GLP-1s is they will reduce your blood sugar levels. They'll slow down your stomach mobility, which means your stomach will stay full longer.
mm,
So you shouldn't be able to stuff as much food into it as you normally would. But the problem is if you haven't really made the lifestyle changes and just depended on the medication to lose the weight, when you stop the medication, a good bit of the people do gain weight because they have not made the lifestyle changes. They go
yeah,
back to the same routine, same diet that
yeah,
got them obese in the first place. So with our plan, that's why we make these lifestyle changes. And the thing is also with the GLP-1s, it does lower your blood sugar levels. So your body's forced to burn body fat. Your body either burns fat or sugar for fuel. When you have a ton of sugar around, your body's going to burn the sugar for fuel and it's going to store all the excess calories as body fat. When your sugar levels are lower, your body's going to burn body fat. And that's why people that go on a lower carbohydrate diet have such great success because there's not a lot of sugar floating around in their body.
Right. Yeah, it starts to burn. So I guess that's where the ketones come in and the other things like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
We even started monitoring with a, what is it, a keto mojo or something like
It's the
that we were
keto
using for a little
mojo.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
started monitoring
definitely.
ketones and all that just to see. Yeah. Do
Yeah. And
you?
it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I know you were talking about earlier with the diabetes and some of that kind of stuff. I would assume that it's even that much more important to make sure of what you're doing with your health, especially if you're diabetic and struggling with all of that, especially with
Yes.
the meds that are out there now and the other things like you were talking about a little bit ago.
Yes. I myself, I am a diabetic. Now I maintain my diet very strictly, and my diet is primarily protein and vegetables. Okay. What I found is that many people, when they alter from that type of diet, that's when they start having multiple health issues, health
Hmm.
crises, and they gain weight. I was actually put on Ozempic for diabetes, and it did a great job of lowering my A1C. Surprisingly, I didn't lose a whole lot of weight on it, but it did lower my A1C. But bad thing is I started suffering some of the more severe side effects.
Oh,
So I had to stop the medication. So with stopping the medication, my of course my blood sugar levels started to creep up again. And I said, okay, I know diet, I know nutrition, I've been doing this for a long time. I really have to, buckle down and be strict about this. And that's when I got really strict with my diet.
yeah,
And the sad thing is, most people don't realize that you can control your diabetes or at least help improve it just by controlling the food that you put in your mouth.
right.
So for me, half of my plate is my protein. I'd say maybe 75% of my plate is protein. The rest of it is going to be vegetables, and preferably cooked vegetables.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you mentioned fats and that sort of thing earlier. I was surprised as we
Mhm.
started kind of changing our diet up, especially with Michelle's MS and some of the things that we deal with. I was kind of surprised at how much fat we really needed in our diet, good salts that we needed in our diet, just to make sure that we had all the minerals and the other things. Because we started noticing she almost passed out one Sunday in church. We're sitting in church, and all of a sudden I see her doing this, and I'm going, okay, that's not good.
Oh,
And
wow.
then all of a sudden she starts
No.
to lean over on me, and I'm going, okay, all right, something's not right. And it was we weren't getting enough minerals in her and electrolytes into her diet. We started seeing really quickly how it affected her body. And since I don't know if she's just more susceptible with the MS or not. I don't know how that works, but it was just interesting to watch.
No, everyone is. And I'm glad you mentioned fat because fat is an essential part of our nutritional intake. Your body needs protein, it needs good, healthy fats.
Yeah.
Pizza and hoagies and
That's not
pasta, there's no recommended daily allowance for that.
no, no, there's not a you need to have 5 hoagies a day kind of
No.
daily allowance. That's kind of funny that you put it that way, but it is interesting. Like there isn't a daily allowance of certain things. It's kind of funny how we've created these things in our minds, and as you know, you and I grew up, the food pyramid that's now flipped upside down and all kinds of stuff happening in our country with health and wellness and all that. It's kind of fascinating to watch the whole thing for sure. I know you used
Yes.
to put out a lot of recipes and other things on your platforms to help people with getting good nutrition and weight loss and all of that. I know that's something that you've helped with for years, and that's on YouTube and Facebook and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Where else could they find information about you right now?
They could go to our main website, which is wakeupskinny.com. On Facebook, where the Facebook page number is Wake Up Skinny Philadelphia.
Okay.
On YouTube, it would be Medical Weight Loss Philadelphia, Dr. K. So Medical Weight Loss Philadelphia, DRK. And on those channels, I'll have recipes, exercise recommendations, nutrition recommendations, and dietary recommendations.
Yeah, I love that. I know that this is been a personal journey for you, and it's also been like, I know you love helping the patients. Do you do chiropractic much at all anymore? Is it all kind of moved to the dietary and the weight loss and all that?
Now it's in the office, it's dietary and weight loss, but for my children and grandchildren, I
Ah,
still do chiropractic.
yeah, you're still practicing for the family. Gotta
Yes,
take care of those kiddos and the grandkids.
we
As
do.
entrepreneurs that are listening to this, is there any specific advice that you would like to give them? I know we have a lot that they do live very high stress level lives. I mean, you know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. You have
Yes.
years that are super fat and business is great, and then you have years that are super lean and you're stressing about every payroll and stressing about all the other stuff. Is there any advice that you would leave our listeners just out of curiosity? You've been at this a long time.
Yeah, one couple things I would say is number one, keep it simple
Yeah.
and make it something that you enjoy. Don't join a gym if you don't like going to a gym. Just put a treadmill under your desk and get one of those elevating desks so you can walk and get your steps in. Or just break your walks up into 10-minute increments. And that'll not only help with your metabolic health and your overall health, but also help with your stress for
Yeah.
that. Keep your meals simple. Keep your meals to your protein, your good healthy fat, and your vegetables. Steak is not a bad food because it has plenty of good healthy fat in
I
there.
like steak.
The- yeah, I do too, especially hamburger.
Yeah.
And salmon is great because it's a nice fish. It has plenty of good healthy fat. In fact, when we have salmon for dinner, my blood sugars are lower the next day.
Really? That's
Yeah,
kind of interesting.
yeah, definitely. The healthy fats, at least in what I've seen with my patients and in my own personal health, is when my diet consists of the good healthy proteins and the healthy fat, my blood sugar levels are lower.
That's very interesting.
hmm And another thing is for people that are a little bit squeamish of fat, high protein and eating the lean protein meats and an overabundance of them can actually cause health problems. So you definitely want to get your good healthy fats in with your protein.
Lean meats like chicken or something like that. Yeah, it
Yes,
doesn't have
you
the
want
high
to.
fat content.
Correct. You want to. It's not a totally complete meal without some good healthy fat as part of it.
Yeah, my wife, she was never a big steak eater or any of that. Her mom used to call her a lazy chewer because she didn't want to chew like meat or whatever. It's been interesting as we've kind of changed some of our dietary stuff for what the doctor has wanted for her with the MS. It goes along the same lines of what you're talking about. A lot of protein and fats that are good fats. We eat a lot of salmon, we eat a lot of steaks and burgers and stuff like that. And then we've gone away from it's very low carb and then just specific vegetables that are low inflammatory vegetables or anti-inflammatory
Right.
vegetables that help with our
Right.
MS. So it's been interesting to see how our bodies kind of adjusted to that. So I'm sure you've seen some pretty radical weight loss through the years and shifts in people's bodies and even just how they live life. I mean, there's got to be some
Yes.
crazy stories through the years.
I mean, I've had people, there's your normal person that might need to lose, 15 to 20 pounds. And I've had people that I've helped them lose over 200 pounds.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah, that's kind of
It's,
crazy.
and I give them all the credit because it did take some time, but they were dedicated to it.
Yeah, and when you do that right, it doesn't it's different. It doesn't just pack back on. You don't just have the diet yo-yo stuff and the other stuff. I mean, I think I
Exactly.
learned that too with the trainer. It helped me to kind of see that I don't need to shoot for huge weight loss or whatever every week. It just needs to be nice and consistent. It's going to be a little up and down. It's going to do some fluctuation and all that, but over time, we're looking for that consistency.
Exactly. And the thing is, once you have the correct nutrition, you will start losing weight over time. And
Yeah.
the thing is, with even when I had to lose all that weight, it got to a point where my wife told me I was too skinny.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah, it is like nobody yelled at me when I was too fat, but now that I'm
Yeah,
too skinny, I'm getting yelled at.
that's
But she
hilarious.
loves me. But I got way too skinny. but she keeps me level. She keeps me normal.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, sharing your journey honestly. This conversation wasn't just about hacks, it wasn't about shortcuts. It's about staying committed long enough for real results to compound. To our listeners, here's a takeaway I want you to hear. The businesses that last aren't built on hype. They're built on trust, repetition, doing the right things consistently, even when no one is watching. If you're in Philadelphia area, if you're curious about the work Dr. Kenny is doing now around the weight loss and metabolic health, go check out wakeupskinny.com. And even if you're not in that area, go check it out, see what kind of nutritional advice you can get from him, and see how he's helping people to make real sustainable changes. And this episode encouraged you some way to play the long game in your business. Do these three things: subscribe to the show, leave a review, share this episode with somebody who needs to hear it, that consistency still wins. Till next Thursday, keep forging forward, stay aligned with your calling, build with clarity, conviction, and confidence, because this is the forge where leaders are made and legacies are built.